Hey yo, what's going on everybody? This is Ben with the Fantasy Chairman podcast coming to you with another start sit episode for week 3 of the NFL season. Already in week 3, that's wild. Anyway, we have gone through and we have scoured the socials and listened to your questions and got several sent in. So we're going to just run through some start sit questions for this weekend. Hopefully help you out. I know I made a bad call with Joe Burrow over Baker Mayfield last week, and I'm sorry. I believe the process was there. The results just were not. We're going to try to do better this weekend. So let's start with some quarterback questions. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of Daniel Jones questions sitting here for us. So a lot of Daniel Jones, which is understandable because it's Daniel Jones. And we all have these preconceived notions from last year and the year before about Daniel Jones not being that guy. But so far, he's been that guy this year. Currently quarterback 5 in fantasy right now, and he continues to get it done. We've seen a fumble or two from him, but no interceptions so far, I think. But yeah, a whole lot of questions with Daniel Jones involved over some pretty big name quarterbacks. So we'll try to answer a couple of those here for you. New York Giants taking on that very, very porous Atlanta Falcons defense. So if you're looking Daniel Jones's way, may not be a bad idea. So first one we've got here is Daniel Jones or Ryan Tannehill. And Tennessee's taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Colts still have a pretty good defense. We have not seen Ryan Tannehill post a QB1 finish yet this season. And in Daniel Jones or Ryan Tannehill, right now I'm going Daniel Jones. I'm going to ride the Flames, and particularly going up against the Falcons. Definitely putting Daniel Jones in my lineup over Ryan Tannehill right now, and that hurts my soul to say a little bit. Next one we've got here, and this is a little bit tough. We've got Daniel Jones or Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater been doing pretty well for the Denver Broncos 2 weeks into the season. Not really making the big plays, playing it rather safe, but it's been working out for him. And Teddy Bridgewater currently quarterback number 12 on the season through 2 weeks so far. So Daniel Jones is QB5. So far has scored 50.8 points. And Teddy Bridgewater is QB12, has scored 41.6. And this is a little closer for me. Teddy Bridgewater taking on the Jets, who have not been superb against quarterbacks. But I am still going to lean Daniel Jones on this one. I think him just going up against that Falcons defense, he's going to put up another good fantasy day for you. So roll Daniel Jones over Teddy Bridgewater this weekend. Another one we've got, and this one really is disgusting. Daniel Jones or Justin Herbert. Daniel Jones or Justin Herbert. And right now we've got Justin Herbert has not given you what you drafted him to be so far. Justin Herbert, quarterback 23 on the season through 2 weeks. He's going to be involved in a shootout against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's going to be a very high-scoring affair between the Chargers and the Chiefs there. Chiefs defense doesn't really strike fear in you. So, yeah, in this one, I'm gonna put in Justin Herbert. I'm gonna play the stud in this one. I think he has the higher floor over Daniel Jones, because if Daniel Jones has a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. And I think Justin Herbert against the Chiefs is going to have a higher floor than Daniel Jones. And I think they both have a pretty similar ceiling in this one. So I'm going to take the guy that has the higher floor with the similar ceiling. So I'm going to stick with Justin Herbert in that one, but I would not blame you if you decide to go Daniel Jones there. All right, and the last one with Daniel Jones involved here, we've got Daniel Jones or Derek Carr. And Derek Carr has had an excellent start to the season as well. Currently quarterback 9 and just been, I believe, the passing yards leader in the NFL right now. If not, he's definitely top 3. So Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Miami Dolphins. I think the Raiders are a great streaming defense this week with Tua Tagovailoa not going to be playing there. And in that one, I think I'm going to roll with Daniel Jones because Miami's still got a pretty solid defense. They've got great secondary there. And yeah, we could ride the flames at Derek Carr, but I'm going to continue to stay in the heat of Daniel Jones going against the Falcons. So Daniel Jones over Derek Carr there, if that was one of your start-sit questions. All right, and now let's move into the other positions. All right, talking about running backs here, we've got quite a few questions involving Tyson Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Melvin Gordon, James Robinson. So we'll jump into some of these. First one we've got here is Chase Edmonds or Tyson Williams. And Chase Edmonds, Tyson Williams, the Cardinals playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is a pretty good matchup there. Or Tyson Williams going up against the Detroit Lions. Man, kind of a tough one, but I'm going to roll with Tyson Williams there. I'm going to go with the better rushing team. And I think Tyson Williams been tearing it up. Hopefully we don't see him fumble anymore. I do believe that the team will start to lose confidence in him if he fumbles again. But in this one, going up against the Lions, I'm pretty much ready to start all the Ravens that I have going against the Lions. So I'm going to roll Tyson Williams over Chase Edmonds in that one. Next one we've got is Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Tyson Williams. And man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, talk about disappointing start to the season so far, particularly in that game against the Ravens. That fumble that literally cost them the game. And I don't think that Clyde is going to be put in the doghouse. In fact, I think Andy Reid may try to boost his confidence a little bit and give him a little bit of run in this one going up against the Chargers. However, I am going to continue to roll Tyson Williams over Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. I just think he's going to have the bigger game going up against the worst defense there against the Lions. And until I see Clyde do something that merits starting him over Tyson Williams, I'm gonna steer clear of that one. Another one we've got here is Melvin Gordon or James Robinson. And we saw James Robinson actually get a little more work this last week, had 11 carries, and I believe 2 or 3 targets with 1 reception there, but ended up getting more work than Carlos Hyde, which was different from week 1. So you like to see that, but still not sure what Urban Meyer and company are doing there, what if they're going to try to feature James Robinson like they should be at this point in time. They're going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Defense has a pretty stout defensive front. Melvin Gordon's going up against the New York Jets, which could have us, well, they've been getting burnt on the ground pretty good. So in that one, I am going to roll with Melvin Gordon. And in fact, I would start both Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams over James Robinson. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams with literally a 50-50 split thus far. All right. Going to go through a couple of lightning start-sit questions here real quick and then get you on out of here and ready for the games on Sunday. We've got a few different ones that have popped in. Rondale Moore or Michael Pittman Jr. You need to be paying attention to if Carson Wentz is going to be playing there and if DeAndre Hopkins is going to be playing. DeAndre Hopkins, a game-time decision. Sounds like Carson Wentz may also be a game-time decision. And if DeAndre Hopkins does not play, I'm for sure playing Rondale Moore. Just give me Moore. He's going to destroy. If Carson Wentz plays and DeAndre Hopkins plays, I think I'm going to go with Michael Pittman in that one. But that is going to be dependent on who plays and who doesn't. Pay attention to those there. Another good one in here, Damien Harris or Tyson Williams. I'm gonna go Damien Harris over Tyson Williams there. Damien Harris ran like a man possessed last week, and I think he is working himself out of the bad favor of Bill Belichick after the fumble the week before. So Damien Harris over Tyson Williams. Michael Pittman Jr. or Chase Claypool. And Deontay Johnson has been ruled out, so I believe Claypool is going to see a few more looks and get a little bit more run. And need to be paying attention again to Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz plays, I'm going to stick with Pittman. If Carson Wentz does not play, I would go Chase Claypool in that one. Then we've got Antonio Gibson or Chase Claypool. Don't get cute. Roll with Antonio Gibson. Start him there. Daniel Jones or Jared Goff. Go Daniel Jones. Rob Gronkowski or Chase Edmonds. Man, I'm going to stay in the flames of Gronkowski. If you're talking about in a flex spot, I don't know who you have in your tight end. Maybe you have Travis Kelce. If that's the case, I'm going to roll Rob Gronkowski over Chase Edmonds in this one. He's just keeps getting it done. 2 touchdowns each week so far. Stay in those flames and ride it out. Down here we got Devonte Smith or Rondale Moore, and Devonte Smith and the Eagles taking on the Cowboys on Monday night. I believe Devonte Smith is going to be shadowed or close to it by Trayvon Diggs, who has been pretty stellar so far. In that case, I'm going to roll with Rondale Moore, especially if DeAndre Hopkins does not play. Down here, let's see, Deebo Samuel or Allen Robinson. Stick with Deebo. Stick with Deebo for now. He's wide receiver number 3.5 PPR scoring. Stick with Deebo until Allen Robinson can show us a connection with Justin Fields, who's going to be starting there. Okay, and the very last one that we've got here is Tyler Lockett or Justin Jefferson. And the easy answer here is both. You've got the Vikings playing the Seahawks, both pretty poor secondaries. And I don't know who else you have as your wide receivers for that team if you're trying to decide whether to start Tyler Lockett or Justin Jefferson. But honestly, play both of them. They are both going to have great weeks. And if for some reason you have to play one over the other, right now, go with Tyler Lockett. He just seems to be eating it up, but I'm not saying that with confidence. Again, if you can, put them both in your lineup and feel good about it, because that's going to be a score fest with the Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings there. All right, that will do it for you. Hopefully we answered some of your questions if you sent them in. Hopefully, if you have any of these matchup questions in your lineups, that will help you with your confidence in deciding which one to play. And let's hope for a good week this week in the getting these start sits correct. Hope you all have a good NFL football Sunday. Hope you win your fantasy matchups. If you're 0-2, hang in there. You got this. Play with your heart. Play with your heart and get it done. Follow us on Twitter at Chairman Fantasy, at FindFF Leagues, at Fantasy Squatch. Our website is www.fantasychairman.com. Don't forget to rate and review us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We'd really appreciate it, and it would help us out. And we'll see you next time. Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
Yep,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you, so it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
that's
good. That's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy.